I'm going to start over, and people, this will be worth your while because I have some things that will shock you more than any paranormal movie that they've ever had in the movies. Now, let me resume, and I'm going to reset my clock while I'm doing it. Now, from mid-April, I stayed home to take care of my mother. When administrators got out of school, my sister came over to my mother's house. Paula Dunn Brown came over to my mother's house, a home that I had lived in since March of 2002 when my mother had asked me to move in to help her to care for my father who had Alzheimer's disease. And Paula begged my mother to come to her home and stay. Ostensibly, my sister was going to care for her. My sister did anything but care for her. Ever notice how when there is money on the table, everybody is suddenly there? For 3 years, no one in my sister's family ever asked me to help with my father. Reverend Brown never even visited. But now that there is somebody dying and she has money to leave because she's the last one to die, here comes everybody out of the woodwork. It's just a darn shame. On the day that my mother left her own home, I gave her my spare cell phone. The next day, A.W. Brown Fellowship Academy employee Wanda Peer called me to tell me that my sister wanted the phone turned off because it was ringing off the hook. Now listen carefully. That was a lie. I was the only person that knew the phone number, and I had not called it. My phone records show that phone had never rang that night at all. On her second day in her home, my sister had begun to isolate my mother. This is the beginning of what attorneys call undue influence as known by law. Now people, this part is very important, so pay attention. I was taking my mother tons of money at my sister's house. I wondered where she was, where a bedridden 87-year-old was spending money. One day I decided to sell a car that she could have more spare cash. When I went to Thomas Whitaker Allstate on Main Street in Duncanville to get my insurance card, I discovered that my auto insurance had been canceled on the Monday that my mother had been taken to my sister's. Now this is June 16th. I had been driving without auto insurance for 14 days. You can hear the audio tape of mine and my mother's encounter. I'm going to put that on YouTube. When I gave my mother her Cadillac CTS on the first week of January 2007, just 1 week before her first cancer diagnosis, we decided to go on the same insurance policy. When I told my mother that people at the insurance office said that she had called and canceled the policy, my mother said no, she had not. I recorded this on a microcassette and took it back to the insurance office. They told me that they had sent a refund check for $645 of my money to 3500 Country Ridge Drive in DeSoto, Texas. That's my sister's address. I told the people that my parents had always had auto insurance with them and home insurance with them. As I was about to leave the door, and they should reinstate my insurance right now and do whatever they can to get the money from my sister because she made a fake phone call. I said my parents had always had home insurance and auto insurance with Thomas Whitaker Allstate. And they said, they don't have home insurance. Found out my home insurance had been canceled also. I turned around and they said with a $100 bill I could restart it. And I gave them a $100 bill. Okay, now I wonder what my sister did with the money. That's $645 because she spent none of it on my 87-year-old mother's medication. But I'm going to show you something. This will, right here, purported to be my mother's last will and testament, was filed on the 10th day of June 2008. Let me get this camera down there so you can see it says the last will and testament of Pauline done. You see that? You go back a few pages and it is, oh no, but I'm sorry, that's the one, here it is. Last will and testament of Pauline done. You go back a few pages and you see that this will was filed on the 10th day of June 2008 at DeSoto, Texas. That's Lorenzo Brown's office. Now, they filed a will on the 10th of June, but on the 16th day of the month, Mrs. Brown had taken the time out to cancel my auto insurance, cancel my home insurance, cut off the home phone, cancel gas at the house, and have the gas meter removed. She canceled my mail, but she hadn't gotten my mother any medicine. Think about that. We canceled the will. We changed the will and filed it with Dallas County, but we haven't gotten my mother any medicine. Now, I have something for you to listen to. This will have my mother's voice on it, and it's going to make you mad enough to pick up something to go beat somebody. I swear it is. Listen to it. Now, when I walked in to my mother on June 28th and my mother had pain, I asked her, "Where's your medication?" She told me, "I've got some Tylenol in there somewhere." I said, "You're taking Tylenol for cancer?" I was incredulous. Yep, that's all she had. And she didn't know where that was. Let me play this tape recorder for you. Listen closely. Listen very closely. Wait, did you hear what my mother said? She said, after I came over here and wrote that check, I ain't got no money. I mean, my sister, that same week, she bought an $84,000 Mercedes CLS 550. There's my mother saying, I wrote a check out here. Wrote a check for what? What does Reverend Brown and Mrs. Brown have a store that they're operating in their home that you have to go buy something and you have to write a big check for it? I'm shaking right now.
You're doing without your pain medication and your medication, doctor wrote your prescription.
People, I am. The little bell went off, and we've done another 10 minutes. And I don't want to get rejected by YouTube, so I'm going to have to continue. I'm very angry. I'm going to step outside. I'm glad the tape ended now. I'm going to explain what you just heard, because yeah, you heard me say my mother's taking Tylenol for pain at my sister's house because she couldn't afford her medication. I'll be right back.